Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here, and welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018 Back Battles. Today we are using the Mega Camerupt team once again with Gothitelle, Amoonguss, Scrafty, Tapu Koko, and Mimikyu. Let us get started and play some games. But it's been very fun to play this team, both in and out of recording. It's been a pretty fun team just to play around because I do love just playing around with Shout Attack. Shout Attack is just such a good ability. We've already seen it work. And also the fact that Nature's Power makes Mega Camerupt such a monster, and of course I get an error as soon as I look for a battle. That's right. But this team has been really fun to use. I already got the next team planned, and let me just say that next team, oh man, that next team, I don't think you want to wait for it because it is a team that, I don't know, I made out of the air. I made it out of the air. Yes. Yes. And it's going to be a crazy team. So if you think that the teams you've seen so far have been pretty cool, wait till you see the next few teams, because I got quite a few teams planned for the series, and the next one and the next one and the next one are going to be still very fun teams, very like cool Pokemon, creative ideas, but we'll see. Let's finish off the Mega Camera team. This is the second to last episode we'll be using this team, and let us just find a battle. Hopefully we can find a battle pretty quickly. So I'll put Lucamine Volume 1 as the music. Let's see how this is going to go, because this team, still, just, again, very fun. Camerupt, Gothitelle, plus Scrafty, Tapu Koko are the main Pokemon we brought, but, of course, Mimikyu and Amoonguss have done the work they needed to do in the jobs they are provided for, especially since most of the teams I've been facing, I can literally just get away by laying, like, usually Gothitelle plus Scrafty because my opponent doesn't have a good answer. Amoonguss is pretty good in case, like, I really need to redirect something, like Lele Metagross, for instance, very scary Pokemon. Luckily, we haven't faced a few rain teams, and that kind of makes me want to put Protect on Amoonguss because then maybe I would bring it more often. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, Sunny Day is cool in Amoonguss. It did win Worlds back in 2015. Shoma had Protectless Amoonguss. It had Sunny Day over Protect. And, yeah, being able to power up Heatran's pretty cool. And the fact is, allows Camerupt to take water attacks, which is also really neat. But, it hasn't been broad. I'm hoping we can maybe get one Sunny Day off with Amoonguss potentially before we end this team, but who knows. We got 2 more episodes, which is probably about 4 to 6 more battles, and I think we're gonna cut it till we find a game, so we'll be right back with another battle. Alright, we got our first opponent. Darkness from Mexico with a 1494 rating will be our first opponent today, with a team of Tapu Lele, Zapdos, Landorus Varian, Celesteela, Milotic, and Heatran. This is definitely a scary team. Milotic, Tapu Lele, and Landorus Varian are definitely all huge threats that I'm gonna have to take care of. So yeah, it's gonna be hardly and Scrafty because of the Milotic. Milotic's definitely a factor that's annoying to play against. I think I'll lead Gothitelle plus Tapu Koko. I like Scrafty in the back for the Landorus Varian, especially with Scarf, and Camerupt in the back. Amoonguss could do work potentially, especially with the Payapa Berry or Papaya Berry or whichever one it was, that reduces the Psychic type super effective damage from the Tapu Lele. Could get Sunny Day up, can Spore. However, I think I could also lead Tapu Mimikyu. But then again, yeah, leading Mimikyu is okay here actually. I was against the Tapu Lele. But you know what? I'm going to go Gothitelle Tapu Koko with Scrafty and Camerupt in the back. We'll see what my opponent decides to do, but I'm hoping it depends on what kind. It really just highly depends on what kind of Tapu Lele set it is. If it's Scarf, I get to know right away. Scarf is a lot easier to deal with. If it is happen to run something such as the Taunt set, like the Taunt set, it could be very problematic. It's my luck. Landorus actually leading. Okay, which I do not mind. So Landorus' Intimidate goes after Electric Terrain, so that's not Scarf on any of these Pokemon. I could see Protect from Milotic. You are trapped in. So I will just go for a Double protect here. Scout for maybe like a Z move from land, or scout for the Milotics protect mainly, because I don't want to handle my dealing with Milotic right away. I could also find out if it's potentially Scarf Milotic, which isn't really common in, you know, like VGC 2018, but it was in 17, so it's still a potential option. As Landis is gonna protect. Okay. Oh, it's a double protect. Okay, just a scout. That's fine. So if I get rid of Milotic, I don't have to click Nature's Power. I don't have to click Nature. I don't have to click Nature's Power against anything, which would be pretty nice. Tapu Lele is still a problem. The problem is if it's Groundium Zealanders, he could potentially knock out my Gothitelle, but I think I'm willing to take that trade. Because I think I do need electric terrain to help against the Tapu Lele, and if, like, let's say I KO Milotic right here and switch into Scrafty, which is what I was thinking about. Tapu Koko lives the attack, but then I probably won't get Trick Room up no matter what, so I'll go for the Gigavolt Havoc into Milotic now, try to pick up that knockout and Trick Room again. So we are going to be able to get the Z move. It will be the Gigavolt Havoc. Hopefully we are able to knock out Milotic. Being able to knock out Milotic would be pretty huge, because of the fact that it allows Camerupt to do a lot more work in this game. So Gigavolt Havoc is going to come through. And how much damage it's going to do? How much damage it's going to do? This is a Milotic. Maybe I should Volt Switch, because Landers could potentially just Earthquake right here. But it could Tectonic Rage here too. So I really just don't know. We'll see here. It's going to be the knockoff into my Gothitelle. Shouldn't pick up the knockout. I picked up the knockout. It's not boosted. Oh, it's Life Orb. Okay. That makes more sense, but ooh, Scrafty would have been so good there. Scrafty would have been so good there. Okay. That is problematic. I'll go into Scrafty now. Ah, that's problematic. Okay, Tapu Lele is going to come back out. Ooh, from what was a decent position to a terrible position, this is definitely one of the definitions, because now I get the Intimidate off, right? It affects the Tapu Lele, affects the Landers. Yet I don't have a good answer to Tapu Lele right now. Guess I'll fake out and Volt Switch. Man, Life Orb Landers is really annoying. I could Gleam here. He might just protect Landers though and Moonblast. I feel like he would protect Landers potentially. I'm gonna knock off and Thunderbolt. Maybe I could get a paralysis into a full paralysis on the Tapu Lele. On Landers is protect, yep. And unless there's a Specs, well, oh, it's Scarf. Okay. Into Scrafty. Should pick up the knockout. Yeah, okay. Oof. Not exactly the prettiest thing. Thunderbolt's gonna come out in Tapu Lele. Does a good amount. This game is definitely not over by far, but it's gonna be tough. I get my Camerupt in. I can go for a Heat Wave. Potentially pick up a knockout, but yeah. On what I'm assuming to be last Pokemon Celesteela, potentially. So yeah, I'll just protect and Heat Wave. It's my best play. Because Moonblast plus, like, if you want to go for Life Orb Earthquake, you might just knock out your own Tapu Lele. The problem is, I don't know if Life Orb Earthquake with -1 plus a Moonblast from Tapu Lele, I don't think I'd live the double attack. I feel like Tapu Lele might switch out though in the Celesteela if my opponent has it, but it's gonna stay in. So maybe doubling up the Camerupt, thinking how confident maybe my opponent is of picking up the knockout, but you know, maybe Mega Camerupt can survive. Who knows? Tapu Koko gonna protect here. Let's see what my opponent's option is. It's gonna be Moonblast into the Camerupt. Yep. Oh, and then Tapu Koko. Okay. Rock Slide. Okay. If we don't flinch, we're in a solid position. So Camerupt, please get the Heat Wave off. Come on. Nice. Okay, that's beautiful. Damage. It doesn't pick up the knockout, but Moonblast is not going to be able to knock out Tapu Koko, and I got solid damage onto these Pokemon. Excellent. And I'll Earth Power in case Heatran is my opponent switching, because that's the only thing that can really switch in. Other than maybe Celesteela, but I don't think you want to risk Celesteela here. Islandus is going to protect, which is fine. The question is it Wide Guard? Or if he crit? Please don't crit. Nice. I didn't even care about special attack drop. I just need Tapu Koko alive. That's the most important thing right now, is keeping Tapu Koko alive so it can outspeed the Landers and go for a Dazzling Gleam. But now is the question of, well, even if it's Wide Guard Celesteela, I would lose anyway, to be completely honest. So if it is Wide Guard Celesteela, we're already in game over, I feel like. It's going to be Heatran though, so might come down to Landers getting a double. If Landers gets that double, it could be problematic. I think I'll just go for an Earth Power in the Heatran. Okay, like this could be a really unnecessary play, because I feel like if you go for the double, you definitely do win, because then Heatran goes down and then single target Life Orb Earthquake onto Camerupt. So I feel like you would go for the double because it's your best shot of winning, and Heatran goes for like Earth Power and a Tapu Koko. So I'm actually going to protect Tapu Koko and Earth Power, because if he does get the double, I can at least knock out the Heatran and then Gleam just wins. Or you can just go for Rock Slide, which I not sure if I agree with. Oh, if it's Earth Power and Camerupt, I'm actually sad. But oh, Landers actually goes down here. Okay. Earth Power into Camerupt. Can Camerupt survive the attack? It does with 5 HP. Earth Power. It's Shucka Berry, but this is Sheer Force boosted. Plus stab. Yeah, gone. Gone. That was a really close game. Wow. Okay, that was a really close game. So, Life Orb Landers was interesting. That was definitely not an option I was considering. If it was, I haven't used Life Orb Landers in forever, but the Protect there kind of made me thought it was Z-move potentially. I don't know. I love Life Orb Landers, to be honest. I've used it in post 2015, and it was probably my favorite item on Landers at the time. But yeah, Life Orb Knockoff is really interesting. Life Orb Knockoff is really interesting. Usually, the Life Orb set would be like Earthquake, Rock Slide. Then sometimes it would be like Superpower, pick up the knockout Kangaskhan. Could be like, it was HP Ice sometimes for other landers, as Earth Power to handle Heatrans. But yeah, knockoff on a Life Orb set was really interesting. And then luckily my opponent didn't click Earthquake at all against Mega Camerupt, so Mega Camerupt was able to do a lot of work. I feel like maybe my opponent went for Moonblast Earthquake, I could have just lost right there. But luckily, able to pull through and pick up a victory. I feel like definitely my opponent definitely could have had that match guaranteed though. As we find Zillow. I don't know how to say that. 1501 rating. Team of Milotic. What's we vote on Milotic today? Ferrothorn, Naganadel, Cresselia, Gardevoir, and Thunderous Variant. So look at Mega Camerupt. It can do a lot of work against my opponent's team. It really can do a lot of work. Gotta keep it healthy, of course. This might be a game I could bring Amoonguss in, but again, Tapu Koko is looking really good here. I think I'll lead. There's no reason to really lead Scrafty. Like, Scrafty, there's no value of leading. Could potentially have Mimikyu for Disguise for that Gardevoir, but Gardevoir's not really much of a threat to Camerupt unless it catches me on the switch in for Psychic and then can Psychic again for the knockout. Want to go Gothitelle, Tapu Koko for sure. I think Amoonguss is actually like a good option for Rage Powder. And it can Spore Cresselia plus Thunderous Variant, which could be nice. So you know what? I'm going to try it. I feel like it could be a decent option here. So yeah, Mimikyu could have also been a decent option here. But I feel like Amoonguss, you know, with Redirection could be much more valuable than Scrafty, which Intimidate really doesn't affect my opponent's team. And Spore could be helpful for Cresselia and Thunderous Variant, especially on Cresselia, which can reverse Trick Room. So Naganadel and Cresselia is going to lead here. I don't know if it's Scarf Naganadel, but it can switch out, which is a really solid thing. Helping Hand Devastating Drake sounds really scary, but I don't think it would pick up the... It probably would pick up the knockout onto Gothitelle, wouldn't it? I don't know. I feel like Thunderous Variant would have the Z move. I'm just going to Psyshock the Naganadel and protect. Psyshock's not going to pick up the knockout on Naganadel, but I can just go for it. Oh, if you actually are Devastating Drake. If it's Acid Downpour, I definitely survive this. Like, there's no doubt I survive Acid Downpour. Let's see if you're Devastating Drake. No, it's just Helping Hand Draco Meteor. I think Gothitelle can survive this. Yeah. Nice. And that Naganadel is at -2, so that's even beautiful. That's actually beautiful. And I weakened the Naganadel, which is great. So Side Shot gonna go out into Naganadel. So much damage. And I'll Trick Room here with my Gothitelle. And Volt Switch with my Tapu Koko. Naganadel is going to protect, that's fine. I get a Volt Switch off into my opponent. Nice. Nice solid damage, nice chip. Which is going to help my Camerupt in the back. As I will send it out. And let's see what Cresselia is going to do. Psychic, Calm Mind, just Icy Wind, okay. That works. As much as I want a Helping Hand Helping Hand Heat Wave, the better play is to Side Shock here. Because Helping Hand Heat Wave is not going to knock out Cresselia. My proc gets buried by mistake. And I'd rather make sure I get rid of Naganadel. Actually, doesn't really matter. I could... Maybe Helping Hand Nature's Power can knock out Cresselia. Like, Naganadel really doesn't do much. But if it crits me, that's a problem. I'm going to Heat Wave Side Shock. It's safe. It's safe. I don't want to deal with a crit Draco Meteor. Even though, like, normally, probably, if I was regularly playing, I would just attack the Cresselia. Maybe Helping Hand Nature's Power it. But I'm going to play it safe here. Heat Wave. Cresselia avoids. Wrong Pokemon to avoid. Should have went for Nature's Power. I do get the knockout Naganadel, and I do get a Side Shock off into Cresselia, so it's not too bad. However, it's not ideal, obviously. I do get the Side Shock. Bit of chip. Bit of chip. And yeah, my opponent's going to reverse Trick Room. Which is fine, because I do have, you know, Milotic comes in, I can go out on Amoonguss and protect. And then Rage Powder, Nature's Power the following turn. We'll see what my opponent decides to opt here. I still have my Gigavolt Havoc too, which is really nice. Milotic's going to come out. I think you would double up in the Camerupt, but we'll see here. I'm going to switch out into Amoonguss. I'm pretty sure Icy Wind might come out. I don't think you ever want to let my Tapu Koko come in, potentially. So I think you would either Scald, Psychic, maybe the Gothitelle slot? You could Scald the Camerupt, but that's also risky because, you know, Mega Camerupt is a threat. You don't want to leave it on the field. So I'm going to switch on my Gothitelle, go out into Amoonguss, which allows me to Rage Powder, redirect, and protect Camerupt. So now we'll see what my opponent opts for. Moonlight, okay. So Icy Wind, Moonlight, Trick Room. Calm Mind doesn't really matter because Icy Wind's not going to do too much. Toxic into Amoonguss. Oh man, that was like the perfect turn for me. Great. I get to Rage Powder here and I go for Nature's Power. I always Nature's Power, even if I think Milotic's going to switch out. Helping Hand's going to come out. As long as it doesn't have Surf, we're good. Seriously, don't have Surf. I think my opponent's just expecting Rage Powder and Heat Wave, so yeah, it's just Ice Beam. That's fine. Amoonguss can definitely eat this up, especially defensive. Yeah, did you say Helping Hand Ice Beam? That didn't even do 50%. Thunderbolt is going to come out from the Nature's Power and knock out the... I'll knock out Milotic. Wow, that's a really specially defensive Milotic here. So we've seen all four of my opponent's moves. Okay. Nature's Power, it does disappear from the battlefield, unfortunately, but I can Spore the Milotic and protect this turn. I don't think this Milotic carries Protect, or it doesn't carry Recover. It's one of those two. So I'll protect Camerupt right here. On Icy Wind and then Ice Beam or maybe Scald. I'm pretty sure it's Ice Beam. But no matter what, getting the Spore off into the Milotic's pretty nice. Yeah, because Ice Beam's not picking into KO. It's Recover, okay. So my opponent doesn't have Protect. That's good to know. Now I get a Spore off into the Milotic. And it will guarantee to stay asleep for one turn. And now I can go out on the Tapu Koko, fire off the Nature's Power, and then even if my opponent Icy Winds, Tapu Koko should still outspeed the Milotic because of how bulky it is. Like, that has to have a lot of bulk to live a Sheer Force boosted Nature's Power in terrain. Milotic's going to switch out, okay. Gardevoir, okay. I mean, Gardevoir's not exactly appreciating Nature's Power either. Traces my Sheer Force, which powers up its Psychic. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad because it still can't. Well, Helping Hand can knock out Camerupt, I guess. Get Tapu Koko in. Get the Electric Surge up. Icy Wind gonna come out, which is fine. I get damage onto the Gardevoir. Get to see how bulky it is. And Nature's Power gonna come out, turn into Thunderbolt, and should be able to do a lot to this Gardevoir. Yeah, that's probably offensive Gardevoir, I would imagine. Regenerate is such a good ability. Look at how much recovery I got with Amoonguss. I'll just switch out an Amoonguss and Protect. I'm not risking like this Gardevoir probably being max speed, getting a Helping Hand Psychic off, knocking out my Camerupt. Because that could cost me the game. So I'll go into Amoonguss here 100%, as Gardevoir's going to Mega Evolve here. And like Tapu Koko can easily win this game with the right cards. So the Mega Evolution from Gardevoir. Helping Hand's going to come out. I'm pretty sure this is either Psychic or Hyper Voice here. If it's Hyper Voice, Amoonguss is still going to eat. If it's Psychic, it goes into Camerupt. I don't think you target down Tapu Koko. Yeah, it's just Hyper Voice. Amoonguss is definitely going to eat. Yep. Amoonguss ate that up. Here comes the Rage Powder. And I think I'm going to go for a Heat Wave here. I'll go for Heat Wave here. I'd rather go for Heat Wave. Because I want damage on this Cresselia, because Cresselia is going to be annoying to handle in the late game if I don't get damage on it now. So Psychic's going to come out. Papaya. I'm surprised no Helping Hand. Psychic's going to come out, knock out the Amoonguss. I wonder if my opponent was targeting the Amoonguss originally. That makes sense for no Helping Hand, or was just going to go for it. But yeah, Icy Wind's going to come out, which is fine. That's going to do nothing. Yeah, like Camera's eating, and even if like we miss the Heat Wave here, speak it to life. I still get the Heat Wave into Cresselia, which is good, and I can just go on a Tapu Koko here, and probably just Heat Wave Protect, because I'm pretty sure you go for Icy Wind Protect with your Gardevoir. So yeah, I'll just Heat Wave here. And Protect, because I'm pretty sure you don't fire off Psychic. I'm pretty sure you go for Helping Hand Hyper Voice or Icy Wind Protect. Yeah. Gardevoir going to Protect there. As Icy Wind is going to come out, target down my Camerupt. Oh, misses, nice. Little bit of chip that I don't have to take. And of course I missed a Heat Wave as well. So Thunderbolt is my play of choice. And a Heat Wave once again. I guess maybe if he gets to double Protect. I wonder if Gigabolt Havoc actually knocks it out. You know what? I have no reason not to go for Gigabolt Havoc here. Like, I thought about it last turn, but I didn't want to risk it if I didn't have to. So I'll go for Gigabolt Havoc and a Heat Wave. As my opponent's going to sack my Milotic. Okay. Because it hasn't taken its sleep turn. That's smart. Because you get an Icy Wind off. But we'll see. Gigavolt Havoc is going to be able to knock on my Milotic. Then I get a Heat Wave off. Like, I'm still getting some very powerful damage off. No matter what. Let's see. How much PP does this Cresselia have? It's Trick Room, Helping Hand, Icy Wind, Moonlight. So I don't think I would be able to stall it out, potentially. If it does come to a PP war. Because that's what it's looking at right now. Gigavolt Havoc into my Milotic. Does pick up the knockout on my Milotic. Let's see. Icy Wind. Yep. Good play. I do get a single target Heat Wave, which could potentially knock out this Cresselia. No, I don't think it's knocking out Cresselia. If it had Helping Hand, maybe. Heat Wave going to come out. Solid damage. Doesn't pick up the knockout. Electric Terrain disappears from the battlefield, which is kind of scary because now I don't know if Thunderbolt actually knocks out the Gardevoir, but I think I'll attempt it. Yeah, because you need to Helping Hand Psychic in order to knock out my Camerupt. So I'll just Helping Hand. I'll just Thunderbolt and Heat Wave here. As Helping Hand's going to come out. If I miss Heat Wave, it could be bad, but I do if I can knock out Cresselia too. Ooh. Or Tapu Koko just outspeeds Gardevoir. Picks up the knockout. Okay. Okay, that's nice. That's really nice. And Heat Wave does connect with the Cresselia. Picks up the knockout. Nice. So what I was fearing was Helping Hand Hyper Voice there. heat wave miss, of course, could have happened. But like, I'm worried always because it's like, okay, so my original outro got messed up somehow. But anyway, the thought process I had, luckily my Tapu Koko was faster. The thing was like, what if my opponent went for helping hand Hyper Voice, KO'd my Tapu Koko, for instance, and then what would have happened was what if Camerupt took too much damage to where Icy Wind or 2 could pick up the knockout onto Camerupt, and then it's Gothitelle versus Cresselia alone, which would have been a terrible position for me, which is why I wanted to go for a Heat Wave risk there, because I would have needed a chip damage on Cresselia if I needed Gothitelle to pull the 1v1 somehow. But luckily Tapu Koko was just faster and able to knock out the Gardevoir. Luckily it was like a slower Gardevoir. But thank you all for watching today's episode of VGC 2018 Back to Battles. If you did like it, please leave a like down below. It shows your support. As well as you can check out my other stuff, such as my social medias. And yeah, you can also check out the team building guide that went up today. And you can also check out the introduction to VGC 2018 if you're still new to VGC, don't know what it's really about, and are looking for resources in order to get started. So you can go check that out. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in, and I will catch you around in another video. Have a good day, people, and I will catch you around next time.